Donald Trump has just taken a reckless step in international diplomacy, but it's not what you think. Picture this, a group of U.S. senators from both parties flying halfway across the world to Greenland, not to discuss trade or a New Deal, but to send an urgent message. We stand against your president. What's at risk here? Global security, the future of NATO, and potentially the fate of the American president himself. This isn't just about Greenland, it's about a global power shift, and the consequences are unfolding right now. Stay with me, because what happens next is something nobody is saying out loud. So why does this matter? It all starts with a powerful bipartisan group of U.S. senators, Republicans and Democrats, who have made an unprecedented move, traveling to Greenland to confront Donald Trump's alarming threats. It's not just a political squabble. This is about something much bigger, the future of NATO and the U.S.'s standing in the world. These senators aren't just voicing concerns. They're pledging to stop any military action, even promising impeachment if Trump pushes too far. But what does this really mean for the balance of power? Is this a warning shot for the future of U.S. diplomacy? And why are we hearing this now? Now, here's the kicker. Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican, stands side by side with Democrats like Jeanne Shaheen, warning Trump in the most direct terms. If you try anything with Greenland, we'll make sure you're out of office. This isn't just political theater. This is a clear and coordinated message that the U.S. Senate is ready to act. And don't miss this. They're not just talking about a few words. They're talking about impeachment. This is no longer just a war of words. The stakes are sky high, and it's happening in real time. Notice what's missing here, Trump's response. Why hasn't he said a word? And why does that silence matter? But here's where it gets even more intense. These senators aren't just speaking out. They're taking action, setting the stage for something that could reshape the geopolitical landscape. Think about it. This isn't the first time we've seen a battle for control over Greenland. Back in history, it was the site of Cold War tensions, and now it's becoming a battleground again. What's different this time? The line between diplomacy and direct threats has blurred, and what was once unthinkable, U.S. military action against an ally, has become a reality that can't be ignored. This isn't just political posturing anymore. This could lead to irreversible damage to international relations. And the most shocking part, it's happening under a president who is threatening NATO, something even Russia could only dream of destabilizing. Now let's talk about the real hammer blow. Senator Shaheen, someone who knows how NATO operates, laid it out clearly. An American military takeover of Greenland would shatter NATO. And here's the kicker. Just the suggestion alone is doing damage. This isn't just political rhetoric. It's eroding trust with crucial allies. While Trump continues to fan the flames of this dangerous talk, the real question is, what happens when the very nations that fought beside the U.S. in countless wars start to question whether America can be trusted? It's more than a diplomatic crisis. It's a fracture in the bedrock of global security. What's even worse, it plays directly into the hands of Russia and China, who are already exploiting every crack in NATO's armor. This isn't just about Greenland anymore. It's about everything we've built for decades. Now watch how quickly this escalates. First, you've got a bipartisan delegation flying to Greenland to denounce Trump's military threats. Then, you've got the leaders of Greenland and Denmark speaking out, warning that Trump's actions are driving a wedge between the U.S. and its allies. And don't forget this. The U.S. is already facing diplomatic chaos over Ukraine. Add to that the fact that Russia is jumping at the chance to exploit this rift. All of this is happening at once, and it's creating an international powder keg. What happens if this continues? With each move Trump makes, it's like a slow-motion train wreck, each moment piling on the next. We could be looking at the unraveling of years of alliances, and fast. Now let's zoom out and think about the real-world consequences. Imagine the people of Greenland waking up every day with the very real fear that their homes could be invaded. That's not just political rhetoric. It's a genuine concern that families, children, and entire communities are facing. And here's the part nobody talks about. This is no longer about high-level politics. This is about ordinary people living under the shadow of uncertainty. They've had to watch as American leaders threaten their sovereignty, and the fear is palpable. What does this mean for the average Greenlander, the average Dane? The long-standing bond of trust that's kept us together for decades is fraying at the edges, and that kind of fear isn't just political, it's personal. If this feels familiar, say so in the comments. But let's pause for a moment. It's easy to get caught up in the outrage, but here's the real question. Why is this happening? Why are we seeing this breakdown in diplomacy? The answer lies in the mechanics of power and leverage. Countries like the US, Russia, and China don't make moves without calculating their gains. And right now, Greenland, with its strategic position and critical resources, is a valuable pawn. The system is built on fear, spectacle, and the desire to control valuable assets. And as much as we might want to chalk this up to individual leadership failures, it's more than that. This is about a global order built on leverage, alliances, and the willingness to sacrifice anything, including trust, to gain the upper hand. The scariest part? It's working. As each side shifts their position, the world becomes more unstable and more unpredictable. Now, what's next? There are two paths forward, and both are fraught with uncertainty. The first path is one where the U.S. and its allies continue down this dangerous road, where Trump's threats to Greenland escalate into real military action, tearing apart NATO in the process. The second path, a total de-escalation, where bipartisan forces within the U.S. Senate push back hard enough to prevent further damage, maybe even leading to a new international agreement that reaffirms the sovereignty of Greenland and the unity of NATO. But here's the catch. Both paths are unfolding right now. The wheels are already in motion, and there's no way of knowing what the next move will be. The danger is that one decision could spiral into something far worse than anyone expects. The momentum is building, and what happens next will decide whether global security holds or collapses. Here's the bottom line. The world is watching as this high-stakes game of diplomacy unfolds. Greenland, NATO, Trump. It's not just about a conflict in the Arctic anymore. It's a test of everything we thought we knew about alliances, trust, and power. The real insight here? We might be witnessing the slow, painful dismantling of the global order as we know it. And when the dust settles, what will we have left? The worst part is, this isn't over. In fact, the next video might just explain what's coming next and why it could be even bigger than we imagine. If you want to stay ahead of the story, hit that follow button and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.